Okay, so thank you for watching us. If you are listening this recorded video, we wanted to thank you to come to watch us, and I wanted to say a few words about the IWCA's work around the world. So we are a network that connect and empower women all across the world, and we want to bring more gender equity to the coffee chain. Also, I wanted to say a few words about our work at IWCA Brazil. So we are now 550 associates in across 11 uh, coffee producing regions in Brazil and counting. So we are connected to these women and we make them to meet each other. So for example, we had coffee producers before being hosts here, and now we have Flavia, and she's an exporter as well. We have baristas and researchers, and we try to bring everybody together and to meet each other. So with no further ado, I pass to Flavia. Flavia, the mic is yours, and let's all have a great event. Thank you.
Thank you, Isa. I'm Flavia. I'm from Arabica Coffee. I'm manager export and quality in the exporting company from Brazil. And we are here with Gina and Mayra, but Mayra is done to speaking. But we have some questions say about the woman in the coffee world and the big coffee can, and we starting with Gina and then probably Isa it answer from Maya, I don't know. But the first one is women have always been present in all the coffee value chain activities. Today, technology and communication are easier. What would be the best way to make women's working more visible and better appreciated? This is for you, Gina.
Oh, for me? Okay. Hello, everybody. Nice to be on here. Thank you for having me. So I've got a few answers. Definitely fairer pay, or same as our male counterparts. And I was thinking about, a lot of the competitions that we hold here in Australia under an association called Australian, it's called ASCA. So it's the Australian Specialty Coffee Association. And there's a lot of competitions that are run under this association. And I thought about, we don't actually hold any women's only events for competitions across all aspects of the coffee industry, such as roasting competitions, barista competitions, Brewers Cup and AeroPress. So yeah, I was thinking about that last night. I thought, we don't hold any great way of, creating more visibility for women would be holding women's only competition events. And also for women in roles of the coffee importing and trade side, because there's so many women that work, not just in case or as a roaster, they work in the service side of importing. And it would be great to create some sort of awards for excellence in their service and, really creating awards in recognition of what women do and how they contribute to the industry. And that would be through, and I love the fact that we are living in an incredible time of technology and communication, which, within the question, it is easier for us to promote and recognise. So yeah, they are just a few of my thoughts and answers on how we can create more visibility and be better appreciated as women in coffee through and using these great platforms such as Instagram and Facebook and, you know, these great platforms to promote how women contribute to the coffee industry.
Perfect.
How was that?
Thank you. Yes. Let's go to change the Instagram for everybody to know each one. Yeah. And Maya, can you try to say something for us, please? If possible.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I've been listening to the conversations and thanks for the invitation and thanks to Diana Osorto in Honduras. She's really an amazing person who promotes participation of women. Honduras is going through a lot in the last 2 weeks, and I think even more than ever is very important to support women who are currently working or trying to work in the industry. I work with women. I live in a rural community in Honduras, and I also work for an importer in California, Royal Coffee. And with my work with women, I think it's very important to make them visible, to make ourselves visible. And one way for me to make sure I support other women is to open opportunities for them. And in the process, I think we need to create more content, so then we have more information, more pictures, so that then other people can see us and also learn more about our role in the industry. And lately, I think for most of the events that are happening online, if I don't see women participating, I chose not to listen to those events, because I think we have an important role in the industry, and we need to support other women who are participating in the industry.
Yes. Perfect. Perfect. Your point. Yes, we need to put more content in the internet. I think it's so important. If you put it in the WCA in the website, it will be nice for us. If we need to use the technology for it. And the second question is, what would be your recommendation for you to keeping working in the coffee industry? Gina,
Sorry, what was the question?
what do you,
Oh,
what would be your recommendation for you to keeping working in the coffee industry?
the second question being, what would be my recommendation for youth to keep working in the coffee industry? Yeah,
Yes.
sorry, you cut out there for a bit. Yeah, just from traveling around to certain coffee growing regions and talking to the younger generation that come from coffee farms, they are really, they're very, I guess they're not, they don't have that enthusiasm. They've lost that enthusiasm to either take over their parents' farm or to work in their parents' business. And I believe it's, a lot of it is due to, the price that farmers, are getting for their coffee. So I think that really does need to be addressed to really give the youth some sort of hope and not keep seeing, because a lot of these farmers do live in poverty, and it doesn't give the youth much hope. So in one way, I respect the youth making choices to leave the farms and, create their own life, especially now what they can see on social media. So I respect those choices that they make to leave their farm. But in saying that, I feel that, a lot of the youth that do go away and study abroad, they do end up coming back to their family farms, because they do see what value coffee has globally. They realise that once they leave the farm. And I think I was reading somewhere that that coffee today is worth $100 billion globally. So
Yeah.
that's incredible when you just think about what the industry globally is worth. I think, we need to sort of encourage youth to come back to the farms, but obviously not take on the old ways of, of their forefathers, but because obviously, there are many farmers that are getting older, and the youth involvement is quite low, and obviously the income is very low. And in addition to that, I mean, I've seen firsthand that it's physically demanding. It's so physically demanding. So, it's not very alluring for the youth. But I really do feel that, I mean, I've been involved in the coffee industry here in Australia for 18, 19 years, and I'm still very, very passionate about coffee. I'm still passionate about the industry. And what I realised, it's more about, coffee is a product, but behind coffee are the people. And that's what I love about this industry. For me, it's about the people. And it is concerning when you read statistics that the coffee consumption is growing. Well, I think I read something like by 2025, the consumption there will be an increase of up to 7%. I could be wrong there, but the consumption is growing. People love their coffee, especially here. This is part of our life. This is part of our lifestyle here in Australia, and I know in America the same thing. So from the perspective of the industry and consumers, I do feel for our youth, but you're asking me what are some incentives to bring back the youth. And I think we have to get them interested again in farming. And then I think equip them with better technology, better planning, and better inputs. And this is more or less, I think, how we're going to address this generational change and youth inclusion. So, we've got to get them interested in farming. And I do believe that is through technology and education, of course. So how does that sound?
Perfect. Thank you, Gina. Maya?
Okay, thanks. And in my experience, I think is one way to motivate youth to participate is by allowing them to or providing them with technology, and also facilitating so that they can learn new skills. And I think with COVID, we learned that most people wanted to be close to family, and
Oh,
to keep kids busy during the COVID months. I think we need to create other sources of income in addition to coffee. And some of those can be technology. Some of those can be returning to grow their own food, our own food ourselves. And I think for us, it's been actually very successful to be working with youth during these difficult months, because one is they have more time, and so I think if we provide with the space for them to participate, I think they might be more motivated to be working in the industry. However, we have to take a look at the prices we're paying for coffee. If prices don't increase, I don't see why any young person wants to be in the industry. So we also have to be, we cannot be selling cheap coffee if we want youth to come back to coffee, because they don't want to be in the they don't want to be poor. They don't want to be struggling like their parents. So in my case, I think we have to create, in addition to coffee, we need to make them excited to be working the land and also support them through the process. If we shouldn't expect anybody to be working in the industry if we don't pay more for coffee.
Beautiful.
Flavia, you're muted.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry. It's about the first question. It's about the health crisis, price crisis, and many other challenges give us a chance to innovate and be creative. What was your positive lesson this year, and what would you like to improve, implement, and change in your coffee activity?
Me?
Gina.
Thank you, Flavia. Well, first of all, it was when we went into lockdown initially here in Sydney. I did go into a bit of shock because, you know, you're so used to getting up every day and just, you know, those wheels in motion. You just keep going. You know. So I guess the biggest thing that, you know, was positive for me, the biggest lesson that I learned this year was that we cannot keep going as we were, and it's just not sustainable. So, you know, I sort of thank COVID, and please don't get me, you know, it's not, it's terrible what's happened due to COVID, but I thank that it's sort of, that we've experienced this in one way, because through crises, and I know from my own personal experiences with my business and my personal life, through any crises and challenges, there's always you know, if you're aware and you're awake, there's always opportunities to create. So what I realised, definitely, nothing is secure, and, you know, this really helped me to slow down and really look at my priorities, not just in my business life, but in my personal life. And what it did, it triggered restructuring and reinventing, because when we went into lockdown, I experienced a 70% drop in my sales in coffee. And the beautiful thing is, I built my business on, you know, on excellence and on great relationships with my customers. And I've got customers that have been with me for many, many years, some 16 years, and they've gone on to open their second and third store. So I realised how important relationships are, and they encouraged me. Don't worry, Gina, we'll get through this together. Usually I'm encouraging them, I'm motivating them. But when I rang every single customer when we went into lockdown, they were so beautiful. They just kept encouraging me, don't worry, we'll get through this. So it made me really think that, wow, relationships are so important. No matter what happens, if you've got a strong relationship or a strong bond, even with family, that's what's going to help you get through that. You know, it's people, it's that connection, that bond that always helps you through no matter what crisis, because I believe there's going to be more crises to come. There's always something happening. So for my business, if I come back to the business, it triggered me to reinvent myself. What I did was it gave me a little bit more time to think about where my inefficiencies in my business were. And so that part of the business, we ended up automating to become more efficient. And we're still implementing that automation. And it also helped me revisit my values personally and then applying them to my business. So I had a very, very big customer that was across Australia. It was a very, very large customer. And, you know, I had been dealing with this very large customer for the past almost 2 years, but it was a relationship that was very stressful. I wasn't paid on time. It was just very, very demanding. And I don't think I slept properly for 2 years. So during COVID, because I revisited my values, both personal, which I take into my business, I decided to actually let go of this customer. They owed me a lot of money, and I actually had to end up going legal. We had this big legal battle, and this was during COVID. And so what I realised is that, you know, the strength that can come from any crisis or any challenge is within us. And it for me, it was time to wake up and say, okay, how do you want to go from now? How do you want to be in your business from now on? So yeah, I let go of a very big customer because they didn't align with my values anymore. But it helped me recenter and put everything back into perspective. And yeah, just really letting go. And for me personally, letting go and going really within from a very spiritual perspective. That's what this allowed me to do. So yes, I believe that throughout any crisis, there's always an opportunity. And and also the fact of what we did with International Women's Coffee Alliance, the Australian chapter, one of our amazing board members started a Zoom chat to connect the women across Australia. It was fantastic. Her name's Sabrina. I'm not sure if she's listening right now, but she started that idea, and it really did connect us women. I mean, I got on there a few times and saw women in coffee that I've known for 18 years that I hadn't spoken to for a while. So that was really nice. So yeah, I think during a crisis, the most important thing is to stay connected. And that's about it from me.
The perfect, your message, it's strong relationship. It is so important. No? Thank you, Gina.
So important.
Mayra?
Thank you. In regards to the next question, let's see. So I'm listening, and in the process of listening, I also have girls visiting me. So I'm also making sure they are listening to this and hopefully understanding a little, but not really. Anyways, for the third question, the challenges and and how do we stay, how do we innovate and be creative? I think COVID, in our case, it's been a really challenging time, because we had to figure out, one is we lost customers. We sold more coffee in the internal market, which is not necessarily bad. And we also had to be, we had to rely on those relationships we have. I think for us, right now we are about to start a new harvest. We're also, as a country, we are dealing with the effects of two storms and hurricanes that almost destroyed our north coast of Honduras. So we are with many challenges, and with these challenges, I think we're concentrating on local economy, also on finding other ways to diversify income and the income for producers. In our case, we work with 100 small-scale coffee producers in my community, and so we are hoping the upcoming harvest happens to be good, but also the quality has to improve, and also we have to have find other ways to diversify income for mostly for women and youth. I'm here. I have 3 visitors at my home now. They are youth. They are between the ages of 10 and 13 years old. I think they are the ones that motivate me to keep looking for things for them to do, so that one is that they stay in the community, and eventually they might become coffee producers too. So I think we have we have many challenges, but we also have communities that are very resilient, and I happen to be in one of those communities where we grow up with, and I think that's also important for us, is to take a look at where is our money going. We support with the money we make. Do we support local stores, local farmers? Who do we support? Because we can make a difference by spending the money in the local economy, and that's our main focus right now, especially with all the natural disasters that we are encountering and going to be and have to deal with those situations too. And I think before I forget, another area that we also have to be active is to speak up in terms of our governments, which should be demanding more and better things from them. And I think we have a voice, and we should use our voice to ask for what's needed in our communities. And thanks for the opportunity.
Flavia, your mic is on mute.
Again, sorry. Thank you, Mayra. I didn't hear everything because we have some noises, but I can try again in the next one. And woman empowerment should move first. It should be amplified to our families, our communities, the coffee industry. Finding the balance is key to build up the credibility necessary to find and take opportunities. Please give us 2 suggestions to find this balance. Gina?
Okay, I was just waiting for you to.
Sorry.
That's all right. I just thought you were looking at more things to say. Yeah, this was a really good question. I think there's so many things that we need to balance, you know, in order for women, you know, to further women empowerment. And because women are here to stay. And I love the progress already that's happening. And there is progress, especially in my country. And you know, empowerment of women is, you know, it's truly a necessity for the development of any society. We all know that. You know, and it obviously enhances, you know, both the quality and the quantity of human resources. So my two, you asked for, you know, to give two suggestions to find this balance. And as I said, there's so many, but I picked get women into power. So, you know, there is a voice for women. And I think that the girl from Mayra from Honduras touched on that, you know, to have a voice for women, and, you know, and we need to create more job opportunities for young women and women. So yeah, definitely get women into power, into more roles of leadership. Support girls and women in crises. And I see this so much. And I know that there's millions of girls that are subject to abuse, child labour, trafficking, child marriage, you know, and this imbalance leaves all these girls, you know, subjected to this, you know, to this horrible, you know, these horrible crises. You know, it just doesn't give them any opportunity. So, you know, we need to equip our young women with better skills, and offer training and education and counselling, and obviously medical care, and small business loans and other programs that reach women and girls, to help, you know, end this cycle of gender-based violence, which really does put our society, or our empowerment as women, it puts us behind. It doesn't push us forward. So yeah, they were my two sort of, I guess, you know, suggestions to find balance. Get women into more leadership roles, so that we can have a voice, and support girls and women in crises. I hope that made sense.
Yes, I think it has much sense. Maya, can I say something about this? Can you repeat for you, or it's okay about the question? Maya? Mayra, can you hear me? We lost Mayra?
Oh, I'm back. I'm back. Thanks. Okay. In regards to women empowerment, I try not to use the word women empowerment, because I think we as women, we are born with power, and I think our role as members of the women community is to facilitate, to provide tools to other women to thrive, and they can decide if they want to work in coffee, but maybe that's not their dream. Maybe what they want to do is to work in the community, or to be a farmers, or to have their own business, to make food to sell, and they can decide And so our job, I think, in at least in my case, I live in a rural community, and I also know that maybe my dreams are not the same as the dreams they have. And our role is to listen, to learn, to get to know them, and to facilitate with the opportunities for them to choose on do whatever we want. And sometimes I think is the impact we can make is possible, and if we concentrate on a few people at a time, and eventually they will help other women or other people in the community. And I think from my experience living in a community where I work with women from rural community, I think it's been a success, just to stay away, and also to observe and to listen and to be there when they need you. And I think that's empowerment for me, is to be a facilitator. But the women already have power, and women already have dreams. Is sometimes those dreams don't materialize because the tools are not there. And I think our role is to be facilitators.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I like the different information there and the opinions. But now we finished the questions, and I want to open for questions for everyone, anyone that wants to do some questions. And I can check it in the chat if you have someone here.
I wanted to say something, not a question, but a reflection about everything you said. First of all, thank you so much for joining, Gina and Mayra. Mayra, this is so nice because Mayra is having so many problems, like her country is going through so much, and she's here with us trying, like her connection is not working, she's there, and this is so nice. I think this strength is so like us, like mother nature, you know, like we want to achieve, we want to talk, we want to speak, we want to have our voices. So this means so much. You, and also Celeste in the morning, she was telling us about the situation you're having there. So it means really a lot to us, to you, to be here. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you could speak. And listening all of this, and also the other rounds we had this morning and afternoon, it's amazing to see how we are so connected in a way that the challenges we face are the same for producers, for who is in the end of the chain. And it's funny because you didn't see each other's presentation, but in some way you're saying the same things, and you didn't even meet before. So we see that this work of IWCA is really important because we are speaking the same language, and we are trying to help each other through this chain, through this network. And I've learned so much today with you all, because I work at IWCA Brazil. My father is a coffee producer, and the thing is that I never dreamed to be in coffee. And then Mbula in the round two, she said something that, you know, she was saying, and I was seeing myself on that, because when they asked her about youth, she said the same thing that Gina just said, that youth at the farms, they are losing their interest because, for example, first, just my father worked at the farm. So it was, for me, it was just a boy's work. And then my father used to come home and just complain about his job, that the coffee price wasn't good and it was so hard to work in coffee and this. So I just saw the bad side. And then thankfully, I went to university and I was able to be in a project where we were asked to go to the International Coffee Week in Belo Horizonte, nearby my university, to be a volunteer, to translate, and I was interested on that. And then I could see another point of view in coffee. I saw that coffee is really international, is about relationships, and I love relationships. And I didn't see that before because my father used to sell his coffee to a guy here, a middle, and then it went away. So we never knew where the coffee was going to. And so for me, that was the end. That was it. And now I see that, like Gina said, it's about relationship. And it's so nice because it's very different from other products because you have to have the relationships with everybody in the chain. Everybody's important. Because if I do a bad job in my farm, the barista at the end won't have a good product to sell. And then the same way, if I do a really good coffee and the barista is not good, it's not going to work. The consumer won't have the good coffee we produce. So everybody needs everybody. And I think that Mayra said that I also really advocated of that, is that we need to occupy. We need to be in places of power. And Gina also said leadership and to occupy. And this is an important job that we at IWCA, we do, because we want to see more. We want to give instructions. We want to push girls to go, and young women and women, like saying, you go, you have to go, you have to speak. So for example, for speaking in these events, I try to search for people inside IWCA associates that spoke English to be here so we can empower each other. And the first round we had this, my friend. The funny thing is that we studied together at school and then we did the same major at university. And she's also a daughter of a coffee producer. And as me, she never thought to be on that. And then we met at university, and on Instagram one day, I was doing the cupping. And I was so happy to do that. I was, dating coffee, and then everything started. And she saw me when I was back to university, and she saw me passing through the corridors, and then she said, "Oh, Isa, my father is also a coffee producer. I saw your Instagram stories, so nice. I never thought about that." And then we started pushing each other. So when I saw some course, I called her, "Hey, Tasia, do you want to come with me?" Yeah. And then we were pushing. And today I'm working at IWCA. And this year she found out that her coffee had a really good score, Sky score points. So she had specialty coffee at her farm, and her father didn't know about it, so was always selling as commodities. So this is amazing how as women, and it's important to us to work in a network, everybody together, empowered, like pushing each other, showing each other that it's possible, being role models to people that are around us. Sometimes we want to have a better world for everybody, to work at UN nations and be at the government and be a big leader, but it starts small. Like, see, like I changed my friend's life. She was with me all my life, and I never thought I could do something like that. And every time I encounter someone and the person says like, my father is a coffee producer, oh my goodness, I start talking. You know that coffee has this and that, and you can see this, there's this link, enter here and do this. So it's important because in this way we're gonna change. Me myself alone, I cannot change the gender equity issue. I cannot. But with people that I encounter and I talk about, and I show ways to them, things that I know, that I give information, then us all together we can change. So I think that's it. I think I talked too much. Really inspired after all these hours with you.
Oh, uh, I can try to hear some answers. Just a second. Oh, Central American resilience is something incredible. Well done, all of you. Great panel. Great job, ladies. Thank you, ladies. You are amazing. And I just want to say a little bit about this everything that we hear here, and we have two different points and the two different visions from countries, and uh, and I think if the resume is exactly that uh, is a say that and the Gina say about the relationship, strong relationship, and I was one. I had one coffee roasting last year, and that because the crisis and the pandemic, we didn't have any more. And about the strong relationship that we have in the coffee chain, the value, we now can to continue my job in the coffee exporting because I have one strong relationship. And
Mm.
and when you say about the woman, when you are a lady in the crazy crazy marketing, it has a lot of men, and we sometimes we have challenges about this because uh, some some business you can try to do, and oh, we are a lady, oh, I don't know if you know what you do, what you're talking about. And of course we have this in 10 years trying to have one piece of this job, uh, because it's so difficult to be to starting in the in to be one one woman and with one voice. It's
Mm.
it's so difficult, and I think we need to to be together and to starting every connection, because this is that we can change this uh, about the education and about the relationship, and we working together to empower everyone, every ladies, every girls, and this is that I can see in WCA. It's very important. So next week I will go to visit some farms in Colombia. It's
Mm.
that there's members of the WCA. Yes, I'm I I'm feeling very comfortable when I try to connect them uh, inside this alliance that we have. Because if I just go to visit some people in the farms in the Colombia, but I didn't know anyone. But in the I'm trying, and it Isa sent me some names. It's member of the WCA there, and now Claudia is going, and are you meeting her? And she helped me to find another farmers, another producers, and then probably I you so about the WCA with these ladies and say, oh, let's go to with us in this alliance is so important to improve, empower everyone. This is that the IWCA can do for us. It's amazing. Thank you. So, no, nobody can say or asking for someone. No, in the chat, no. Isa, can you say something? Gina, Mayra?
Oh, is that someone trying to ask a question?
No, it's just me calling Mayra.
Oh, well, there's a few people on here. There's Veronica. There's Veronica. Veronica's on. She's the Vice President of International Women's Coffee Alliance. Veronica, do you have any questions?
Hi, everyone. I don't have any questions. Just want to say thank you, ladies, for sharing all this information. I'm so glad to have the opportunity to join this event. I think it's really important to come together and share experiences. And something that it actually like is that Isabel said that Gina and Mayra didn't know each other, but kind of they have similar experiences. And that's the good thing about connection, about finding what the other women in the other side of the world is facing the same situation. So you can help each other, you can encourage each other. So I just want to say thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, thanks, Veronica. And Blanca, are you there?
Hello.
Hello, Blanca.
Yes, I'm here.
You're there. Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Do you have any questions before we leave?
Well, I have so many things to share, and I'm so happy that we've got to gather together and share all this experience. And since the morning, we had so many points of view. We have so many comments and experiences, and I cannot put them all together during the day. I mean, I'm overwhelmed. There is so much to share. You all amazing. And I do believe that IWCA Global is doing a great job. Although we are a small organization and we are putting all our efforts together, I think the way we are reaching out to our community, it's amazing. But this is because of you guys. I mean, yeah. So thank you so much. I cannot say more what have been said because I'm just in the backstage. So thank you so much for trusting us. Thank you so much for keep on going. That's what we do. Women, we do that, right? We keep on going.
Yep. Thank you. Hey, I just want to finish off by saying thank you so much. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Blanca. Yeah, I guess.
I'm okay. I'm okay. Thank you.
Okay. I guess for me, this has been an incredible opportunity to connect with. I just feel like I know you all already. You know, I just feel like you're my sisters. And that's what I love about coffee. If I wasn't in coffee, someone said to me, Gina, don't you ever get sick of what you're doing? You've been doing this for 19 years. And I said, no, I don't. It actually gets better and better for me. It doesn't get boring because I'm meeting. It's about people. As I said, it's about people and the stories. The stories are so powerful. You know, it's impacted my life. When I travel, and unfortunately this year I didn't get to travel anywhere, but when I travel, it's the women that I connect with just immediately. I don't speak Spanish. I don't speak other people's language, but women just somehow know how to, we just bond. very naturally. You know, we embrace each other. There's no, you know, when I first entered the industry, I was not taken serious as a business. I thought I was a business person, but people looked at me as a woman, and it was so male dominated. I was probably one of the only women at the helm of my business, and I was so desperate to connect with other women, and it took many, many years for me to realize, oh my goodness, there's so many women in coffee all over the world. So I just want to thank IWCA Global for an incredible platform. It's just blown me away how many people I've met through this network. And, you know, you're having a lot of impact. You've certainly had a lot of impact on my life. And it gives me a lot of hope to, you know, to keep going in coffee, because when women come together, we are a powerful, powerful voice. And women naturally want to better themselves, better their family, and better their communities, and in turn better their society, their country as a whole. So that's what I've seen personally from traveling to so many different coffee growing regions. So yeah, I'm so grateful, and I feel so honored to be a part of just an incredible, incredible network. So thank you for having me.
Gina, just one thing. I'm thinking here is to do this just once per year. It's so, oh no, you need to do this more times.
I know. Yeah, well, I've had a lot of fun. Did we take a photo, Flavia, of all of us? Can we? I'm not good at this sort of stuff, so one of you have to take it. And okay. Hopefully Veronica's still on here so we can take the photo. So I'll leave it up to one of the experts. Who's good with photos?
I can do it. But first, Mayra, do you want to say some final words to us?
Sure. Thank you. No, thanks a lot for the space. The Women in Coffee Alliance open to us. I think it's important to support each other, to make sure that in every coffee or non-coffee conversation that there are women participating. And if there are not women, we need to ask for women to be in those positions. Is very important. Only when we speak up, the changes will happen.
Mayra?
She will be back.
Yeah, and if you are in a coffee, in any space you are, I think is our job to be facilitators, so other women can find their dream and they can actually make it possible. And I think it's important to have opportunities like this, because we're not.
We lost you again.
We lost Mayra.
Oh my God! But thank you so much for the opportunity. I think that's probably all I like to say. And let's give opportunities to other women too, right? And we can all help each other. And thanks a lot for the space.
Thank you, Mayra. Thank you for being here. It means so much. Yes. I'm feeling like this, you know, when you're in the finish line and you're pushing each other to the end, like, let's go all together, and you're doing your best with all the things you're having there. Thank you so much.
Oh, can you everyone send the profile from Instagram or cell phone sharing, please? You keep in contact.
Yes. Okay, so thank you all. Thank you, Blanca, so much Without you, this wouldn't be possible. Thank you all for watching and to be with us. And girls, we are praying for you there, for the storms, to this to go away and all you be safe. And okay, so let's go for the picture.
Yay.